Good morning, first grade. Today we are going to start with our reading and vocabulary words. The objective today is we're going to identify the new vocabulary words and we're going to be able to give meaning to the words. So to start out, I have your vocabulary words written down. Each of you are going to get a guided note to use during the lesson and during the activity that we're going to work with today. So we're going to pass those out right now. Take one and pass it down. All right, so let's go over the new words quickly, and then we're going to read a story. And we're going to see if we can listen to any of the new vocabulary words are in our story today. Here are the new words. We're just going to do a quick introduction, and we're going to go over them again. All right, vocabulary words, starting with pig, woof, play, wood, straw, brick, house, build, stick, and three. All right, guys, so we are going to listen to the story of the three little pigs. And I want you guys to all listen in the story for some of our new vocabulary words that we are going to discuss in the lesson today. The three little pigs. On the edge of a beautiful forest lived a mommy pig, a daddy pig, and three little pigs. The time had come for the three little pigs to leave home. Watch out for the big bad wolf, warned the daddy pig as he waved goodbye. The three little pigs had walked far when the first little pig grew tired. This will do, yawned the lazy little pig. He quickly built a house from straw that was laying nearby. See the pig and the straw house. See what the next little pig did. It wasn't long before the second little pig stopped walking and looked around her. This will do, she said, and swiftly built a house from the sticks and branches that were scattered around her. So the second little pig used sticks to build their house. The first little piggy used straw. The third little pig walked on and on and on. Finally, he found a pretty area of land by a stream. It was the perfect place to build a house. Any guesses on what the third little pig used to build a house? We'll find out. Right, the third little pig decided to build a strong brick house to keep him safe from the wolf. He drew plans. He bought the best bricks he could find. And finally, after weeks of hard work, he stood back and admired his beautiful new home. So the third little pig used what? Bricks out of the house. And what did the first one use? Correct, straw. And the second, sticks. Okay, let's see what happens next. Meanwhile, the hungry big bad wolf came across the first little pigs resting in the house of straw. Little pig, let me come in, said the wolf. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, cried the first little pig. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, howled the hangry wolf. So the big bad wolf huffed, and he puffed, and the tiny straw came coming down. The little pig ran as fast as he could until he arrived at the house of sticks. The big bad wolf snuck up to the house. Little pigs, let me come in, he growled. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chins, cried the frightened little pigs. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, howled the hungry wolf. What do you think's gonna happen? Any guesses? And we'll find out. So the big bad wolf huffed and puffed, and the wobbly stick house came tumbling down. You see the pigs? They're up here running from the wolf. See what they do. All right. The little pigs ran on and on and on until they finally reached the third little pig's house. Don't worry, we are safe in my strong brick house. And the third little pig, as they heard a bang at the door. Who could it be? The wolf? Yeah, let's find out. The little pigs, let me come in, said a familiar voice. It was the wolf. So what do you think is going to happen in the story? Is he going to huff and puff the house down? All right, let's read on and see what happens. Not by the hairs on our chinny chin chins, cried the three little pigs. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, howled the hungry wolf. So the big bad wolf huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed. But nothing happened. The house didn't even wobble. The wolf was furious and very hungry. He climbed up on top of the roof and he jumped down the chimney. Splash! Ow! Said the wolf. The wolf landed in a pot of boiling hot soup and burned his long furry tail on the fire. He leaped out of the chimney and ran away as quickly as he could. As for the little pigs, they lived happily ever after in their house made of bricks. They never saw the big bad wolf again. All right, so did we listen to any or hear any of the new vocabulary words when we read? Yeah, which ones did you hear? You heard pigs. Well, I hope you would hear pigs. That's the title of our story today. And wolf, yeah, he huffed and puffed. Straw, that was the first house. What's the second house? Right, sticks. And what about the third house? It was brick. Good job, guys. Okay, well, so let's take a closer look to some of these words so we can learn how we can define these words. So the first one is pig. And a synonym for pig is also hog or porker. And an antonym would be a dieter. So a pig likes to eat. A wolf. A wolf can be described as a predator. So in our story, the wolf was trying to get to the pigs because he was hungry. An antonym for the wolf would be tame. So tame is also another word that the wolf was nice and friendly. Play. So play we can describe as like you guys do at recess. We go out and play on the playground. Correct. And an antonym for play would be if you guys do chores for mom or dad, or if you're bored, that'd be an example of the opposite of what play is. Because remember, we have learned the last couple weeks a synonym and antonym. So what is a synonym? Correct. And an antonym? Yep, it's the opposite. Good job, guys. All right, wood. So wood is another synonym for like log. It's like how they were building their houses. And antonym, it would be like a prairie or like a grassland, a grass, like a hillside. And straw. So the first little pigs used straw to build their house. So straw is another version of hay. And what's the opposite of straw? So this would be like dirt and mud. It would be the opposite of what hay or straw would be like. So using context clues, what can we describe straw as? Right, so animals can eat the straw, or the pigs in the story were building houses with it. All right, brick. So which pig used brick to build their house? The third pig, right? So brick is also, could be like a block. And what would be the opposite of that? Something lightweight, not something strong. Kind of like in our story, the hay or the straw. The straw was not strong like the brick. And house. So house is what someone would live in. House is what the three little pigs built to live in. And of course we know in this story that each of the piggies used a different form, as in straw, sticks, and brick to build their houses. Build. So as we see in the picture, it's showing people building a house. So these guys are all building, they're setting up frames. So this house would be like a wooden house, right? Instead of the brick and the straw. And what an antonym of the build would be like dismantle. So dismantle would be taken apart. It wouldn't be building the house together. Sticks. So the stick, which pig used to build the house out of the sticks? It was the second. Yep, the second little piggy. And a synonym for sticks would be twigs or anything like that. And antonyms, so the opposite of sticks would be like grain. Yep, grass, that's a good one too. Yep, great examples. And 3, so it's like the number 3, like we had worked in our math lesson before. Yeah, I know you guys have seen this before. So opposite of 3 would be like 4, 5, 6. Exactly. So all the numbers going on besides number 3. All right, guys. So we are going to watch a short video of the 3 little pigs of the lesson we heard. So when we are reviewing this video, it's going to be the same story I read to you. I want you guys to use your guided note sheet, and I want you guys to listen. I want you to listen to any of the new words, okay? And then maybe circle your guided sheet on some of the words that you hear in the story, okay? Let me just click it real quick. You guys can listen to it. Alright guys, it's loading.
The 3 Little Pigs. Illustrated by Giuseppe Vanderna. Written and retold by Claire Lloyd. On the edge of a beautiful forest lived a mommy pig, a daddy pig, and 3 little pigs. The time had come for the 3 little pigs to leave home. "Watch out for the big bad wolf," warned the daddy pig as he waved goodbye. The 3 little pigs hadn't walked far when the first little pig grew tired.
"This will do,"
yawned the lazy little pig. He quickly built a house from straw that was laying nearby. It wasn't long before the second little pig stopped walking and looked around her.
"This will do,"
she said, and swiftly built a house from the sticks and branches that were scattered around her. The third little pig walked on and on and on. Finally, he found a pretty area of land by a stream. It was the perfect place to build his house. The third little pig decided to build a strong brick house to keep him safe from the wolf. He drew plans. He bought the best bricks he could find. And finally, after weeks of hard work, he stood back and admired his beautiful new home.
Wow!
Meanwhile, the hungry, big bad wolf came across the first little pig resting in his house of straw. Little pig, let me come in, said the wolf.
Not by the hair on my tin,
Cried the first little pig. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, howled the hungry wolf. So the big bad wolf huffed and he puffed, and the tiny straw house came tumbling down. The little pig ran as fast as he could until he arrived at the house made of sticks. The big bad wolf snuck up to the house. Little pigs, let me come in, he growled.
not by the hair on our tin,
Cried the frightened little pigs. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, howled the hungry wolf. So the big bad wolf huffed, and he puffed, and the wobbly stick house came tumbling down. The two little pigs ran on and on and on until they finally reached the third little pig's house.
Don't worry, we are safe in a strong brick house.
Said the third little pig as they heard a bang at the door. Little pigs, let me come in, said a familiar voice. It was the wolf.
Not by the hairs on our chins,
Cried the three little pigs. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, howled the hungry wolf. So the big bad wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed. But nothing happened. The house didn't even wobble. The wolf was furious and very hungry. He climbed up onto the roof and jumped down the chimney. Splash! Ow! The wolf landed in a pot of boiling hot soup and burned his long furry tail on the fire. He leapt out of the chimney and ran away as quickly as he could. As for the little pigs, they lived happily ever after in their house made of bricks. They never, ever saw the big bad wolf again. The end.
All right, boys and girls.
subscribe.
All right, boys and girls. All right, so did any of you boys and girls, do you guys hear any of our new words? Raise your hand. Okay, yes? Yeah, we heard house and 3. Okay, what about you? Pig, straw, brick. Yes, so I'm glad you guys were all listening for some of the new vocabulary words. So we are going to transition and we're going to do a little activity with some friends. So I want you guys to pair. I want you guys to get with one other friend. Okay? Yep. All right, go ahead and get into your groups with your friend. Okay, good job, guys. All right, so what we are going to do with our friend is out of the, here's your guided, you guys can use this too. Out of our guided notes sheet, we are going to pick 5 5 words, and we're going to make sentences with our peers. So you guys will pick 5 of them. It could be any 5, and we are going to do 5 sentences. So I had made some sentences as an example. These are examples only. I do not want you to copy the board. So here is some examples of these sentences. Number 1, the wolf was scary. The wolf was scary. Number 2, the house was on top of the hill. The house was on top of the hill. So you guys hear the house? All right, the third one is my dad chopped the wood. My dad chopped the wood. Okay. The pig was hungry. The pig was hungry. Okay. We play dodgeball in gym class. We play dodgeball in gym class. Okay, boys and girls, so these are examples only. I'm going to leave this on the board since you guys do have a copy of your guided sheet. And then my students who need the Google Translator, you guys can use that too as a reference. You guys can use this. I will leave this up on the board. And if you guys have any questions, please raise your hand. I will be walking around to help anyone. Feel free to ask any questions if you guys need help, and I will be sure to help you guys. So I'll give you a few minutes, and then we are going to move on to the next activity. You have a question? Yeah. It can be on anything. It doesn't have to pertain to the story. These are sentences just like I used the we play dodgeball in gym class. It doesn't pertain to the story, but it is a simple sentence that I had made up, and you guys can too. It does not have to pertain to the story. That's actually a great question, guys. The story here does not have to, the sentences do not have to pertain to the story. So that means that it does not have to be about anything that we read in the story. These can be sentences that you guys just make up on your own. They could be about anything, as long as they have the vocabulary words in it, okay? So just 5 of them. Great question. Good job, guys. You guys are hard workers today. Nice job, guys. Okay, guys, I see some of you have finished. If you have finished, we are going to pick one sentence that you and your friend worked on today. So it could be any of the sentences that you worked on today. One of them, we are going to draw a picture describing your sentence, and we're going to share with the whole class. Okay, first grade, I noticed you guys are all done, so go ahead and separate. If you guys weren't listening before, we are going to pick one sentence that you guys use of the new vocabulary words, and we're going to draw a picture describing it. For example, I put the pig was hungry. So I would draw a picture of the pig eating some food. Okay? Any questions? Please raise your hand. I'll be around, okay, guys? Okay, guys, go ahead and start sharing some of your sentences and your words. Raise your hand if you want to participate. Okay, go ahead. Nice job. And I love the picture of your wolf. The wolf was hungry. Fair enough. He was hungry in the story too, huh? Go ahead. You play kickball at recess. Good job, guys. You guys did really great job today. We are going to review everything. So Can I have a volunteer for the first one? Yes, pig. Good job, guys. Next one. Woof. Good job, guys. Play. Nice work. Wood. Correct. Yes. Straw. Can you try this one for me? Brick. Yes. Good job. House. Yes. Build. Nice job. Stick. Nice job, guys. And last one. Good work, guys. So this is 3. Anybody have any questions for me? Okay, guys, we are going to review these again tomorrow. So if you guys don't have any questions, we're going to transition to math. Okay, guys? Boys and girls, first grade, guys. Hey, listen up. Any questions before we move on? All right, great job today doing your reading and vocabulary words. And you guys continue to use context clues to describe the words. And can ask a question. Do you guys, who remembers what context means? Yeah, so it's just describing of a word. We use these clues to describe words and identify them. Correct. All right, guys. Well, we're going to transition to math. And if you guys have any questions about the new vocabulary words or our activity we did with our friends today, please let me know. All right, thank you, guys. All right, let's move on.